I have a pretty fun one back on the bench today. This is a Medford Praetorian. Most of y'all probably never actually seen one in person. This one is well used, and she is a dirty girl. I'm pretty sure Rick James's phone number is on here somewhere. So we're gonna get this disassembled. Yes, I know, we can hear Greg Medford screaming and crying.
I'm going to make you very unhappy. I'm already unhappy.
It is very well used. I've had this one on the bench before. I know I have re-profiled it because it was very chipped and damaged. This is D2 tool steel, and it is seriously tough stuff. I've always wanted one of these, but whew, yeah, man. She's gonna benefit from a good going through. I'm gonna hope that this pivot screw is stainless and not coated, but I honestly don't know. But you can see she is definitely in need of some serious love and affection and cleaning. I'm gonna use my standard driver, and these are Weehaw. See if I can actually show it. Weehaw bits. If you're gonna do stuff like this, I mean, this is a $600–700 knife. Invest in the good bits to do it. The good thing is, Medford uses really nice hardware. They don't go crazy stupid with Loctite. They know what they're doing. This one's been apart before. He sharpened it. The warranty on this one is gone due to those things, so I don't feel bad taking it apart. But if you do have a Medford and you do take it apart, you void the warranty on it. That one is not wanting to come free. At the moment, I don't have to be too concerned with bumping the blade edge, because although it was sharp, it's still sharp-ish. I probably should have done a little cut test with it. I think we still can. Ooh. Yeah. Let's just bask in that glory for a minute. Okay. And I'm just going to keep these together. Wow, yeah, this thing needs a little bit of love. We'll get all this taken care of. I'm pretty sure I can do a cut test with it, just pinching the blade. It's big enough.
That's what she said.
Hang on. I don't think it's gonna cut. I don't think there's any way, but we'll give it a try. The mighty Medford Praetorian just got beat up by phone book paper.
You even care that I am not feeling well?
Of course I do. There.
Thank you. That's nice.
But not for long. I have no doubt this thing will get back to its wonderfulness here before long. Man, that one's really on there. I don't know if I can get to that. Yes, so we're just going to clean around it. I'll flood it with maybe some rubbing alcohol, let it sit. I'll get all this cleaned up. You can see this is a titanium frame. You can see the wear it suffered amongst the grit here over time from just locking against this really, really hard D2. Scraping against that D2 is just so hard.
Oh, we're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore.
Then you've got your pivot ball there that takes a lot of the brunt force, but we're going to get this cleaned up. That'll really help the wear and tear. I'll probably put a little bit of grease here, or the really heavy duty super lube, just to help out. But this is not a new knife. This is a well-used and well-worn one. That's really not a lot of wear given the life it's had. So we're going to get this all taken apart and probably going to soak the scale. I'll clean it with some rubbing alcohol, soak it in some warm soapy water for a little bit. We'll try to get that back to its normal orange.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped. Let's let the healing begin.
Thought it was possible some poor, unfortunate, bored soul I'd actually want to see this. So I just have some warm water here. This scale has seen certainly better days. We're going to give it just a quick rinse in the warm water. Then
You can slap him.
What? Wait, you...
I'm going to smack my camera. This camera and I have issues. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some dish soap. Just rub it. If I stay in frame here. Into this G10. I'm going to get the blade out the way. Yes, D2 is supposed to be a stainless steel, but it is a rust curious stainless steel. So we don't want to provoke it too much. Where is my brush?
Squirrel!
Is that nylon? Yes. Now the goal here is going to be to try to remove it from being in a Rick James video. It's starting to get there. I think this is going to want to set for a little bit in some warm water just to try to give it a chance to could really pick a smaller bottle. I'm just going to kind of work this in and it's going to sit. Because it's really worked into everything. I got a feeling we're going to be hitting with a little bit of goo gun after the rubbing alcohol, trying to get this back. All right, next one. That's actually the glass breaker, but it was pretty disgusting. So I'm going to just rinse it off there. It's all going to be oiled again anyway. Oof. Yeah, we're going to be hitting that with probably a brass brush and some hops. Got a little bit of surface rust and some Lord knows what on there. So this is just kind of being a quick bath for all this stuff. Liner. And do we take the pocket clip off? Yes, we do. That's my guess. I'm guessing that is 10. And I'm wrong. Oh, so close. Now, do I think you should start taking apart your knife if you don't really know what you're doing, you don't really have the right tools? Not really. Cool. I'm just going to keep these laid out together just because it's a good idea. It's titanium. Not a whole lot can happen to it. Thinking we'll just attack this one with some rubbing alcohol. Really flood this and that pivot for that matter. Hopefully we'll be able to get the vast majority of all this taken care of. I'm gonna give this a lip tap. There. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. If you can get a little bit of liquid to kind of help float it.
What is this feeling that's put you in your place? You just got slapped across the face, my friend. You just got slapped. Happy Slapsgiving, everybody.
A lot of times you can do that. Nice thing about the mat, everything gets kept in line and in order. Is it 100% necessary? Probably not, but it's just a good way to do things, good way to get used to it. You can see the poor thing's been pretty dry for a while. There's definitely some wear that could have been minimized. Ugh, yeah, we're gonna have a little bit more project there getting that cleaned up. Could have been minimized with a bit more lubricant. Why?
I'll get the lubricant.
There's no time for lubricant.
There's always time for lubricant!
Mm-hmm. These are really cool knives. I don't want to turn anybody off from wanting to get one. Because if you take it apart, your warranty's shot. They will sharpen it for you if you mail it back to them. I don't know if there's a charge for that. I'm assuming there is, but I don't 100% know. They just think something needs to be done, send it back to us. We know best. We built it. Can you really argue with that? Camera?
There will be no slap today.
Oh my God! This is the best Thanksgiving ever!
We're going to take a step outside here in a minute. Can you really argue with that? No, you can't. I'm sure they have people trained in them, and hey, cool, but much like when I had my issue with my Leatherman, and they told me I could not possibly take it apart. Ooh, still gross. I could not possibly take it apart to fix it because it was far too complicated. I had to mail it back into them. And I left and said, it's already apart and I can tell you what's wrong with it. Mail me the part and I'll fix it myself. And they refused. They wanted to be able to control everything with it. To me, it was, why do I want to be without my tool that long?
Phrasing.
When I don't need to be. In a way, I get a company wanting to have that level of control, but at the same time, why? And if you listen to Greg Medford, you know, he'll tell you, oh, people that own a bank vault shouldn't be able to break into their own bank vault. Well, I get it, but this isn't a bank vault. I think it's all just different philosophies on things. And, you know, the people I know that have actually spoken to Greg say he's a pretty decent guy. I have not actually spoken to him directly on it. I don't have a whole lot of problem with it if that's... He doesn't hide that's how he feels.
Charlie Murphy!
If you buy it from him, he wants you to send it to him to maintain it, to sharpen it, to take care of you, and to continue to service his customer. Is that a bad thing? No. I sure don't think so. But I know a lot of people have an issue with that. I'm going to go real light here. Just try to break up some of that. This is a brass brush. There's just a lot of surface ugly on here. Again, this has been a very long time that this poor thing has been.
That does it! Oh! Canada!
In use without a cleaning. I'm thinking we're gonna have to switch to more of like a see how gross that water is? Thinking we're probably gonna switch to something more of like a hops, but it's better. We'll see if a little bit of rubbing alcohol will get in here and help. Might actually be a situation where I soak it in some rubbing alcohol and just see how that does. I don't know how much of that's actually dirt at this point, how much of it is just wear. Really don't like the idea of using anything too dramatically harsh here. So we're just going to really coat it with a heavy coat of dish detergent. We're going to let it sit for a little bit. Today ain't the day. All right, you stay there. I mentioned how much I like this new mat yet, because I do. All right, let's try to get a little bit going on here. This is the glass breaker, and it kind of acts as the frame bushing. It's definitely got some issues going on. I'm thinking on this, we're definitely going to have to switch to a little bit of the best smelling candle on the face of the planet, some hops number 9. Okay, hops number 9, finally. These little bottles, if you're ever interested, buy them on Amazon. And we're better. Blade. She's gonna need a little bit of love because it's a little on the ugly side. Is that rust or is that like tar? Okay, it's not rust. I don't say anybody's names on my channel. I like to keep everything as anonymous as I can, not only for myself, but for people that send me things. This particular critter is a friend of mine. And,
You got friends? When did this happen?
he's a little special sometimes. To him, this is a tool, and he uses it as a tool. And I don't know if that was like tar from a roofing shingle or what. It was kind of interesting. I thought it was rust. I was a little freaked out, but it's not rust. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. There's really no... There's a little bit of buffing. You can see a slight line just from repeated scuffing. But there's no indication that this D2 has had any unhappiness or wear whatsoever. This is just... D2 is, if it's heat treated right and done correctly, there's a lot of difference between the $29 Amazon D2 and a D2 from a place like Medford or the other high-end manufacturers. A really well done D2 is just crazy tough. Holds an edge forever. It is rust curious, but not horrible. I recommend barricade oil on these. It dries, puts a film over it. It helps it stay happy. I mean, that's got a little bit of a patina on it. And yes, patina is rust, but not rust. Okay. Blade's back to being pretty happy. Is there any major areas I need to worry about here rust-wise? No. A little bit right there. Well, is it rust? Is it sap? I'll put a little bit of hops on it and give it a bit of a touch-up, just in case. Do I normally disassemble knives before I sharpen them? I do. That way I don't have to re-clean everything. Knives like this can sit and soak, and we can really make some headway there. And it's just easier when you're just dealing with the blade if you can take it apart. Downside, some knives don't like to come apart. This one in particular. Also, when you're putting it back together, you're putting it back together extremely sharp.
'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't. Well, what's that then? I've heard worse.
Checking to see if there's any rolled edges. And amazingly, I don't think there is. Man, good D2 is good stuff. Okay. So we're pretty good here, we're pretty good there. I'll flood that a bit more just to get that whole area cleaned out, because it was pretty gross. This little guy definitely benefited from being taken apart and having a little bit of love and affection shown to it. Just gonna let that soak. Kind of have a feeling we're about where we're gonna be at with it, but doesn't mean we don't try. Two ways to do something, right way, and again. And how you do anything is how you do everything, to the best of your ability. So, whether it's gonna get any cleaner or not, I'm still gonna try to get it better. And that pretty much brings us to the end of just prepping and getting this ready. I'm gonna hit that one more time. You can see there's still a bit of residue on there. You can even feel it. I'm gonna try some Goo Gone on it because I truly don't know what it is. We're just gonna give it a very easy scrub with the brass brush and see. I think it's actually etched into the D2. That's upsetting. Well, whatever it is, it just kind of acid etched. A lot of people don't realize acid etching. You can acid etch something with mustard or vinegar, almost anything. You spill something like that, it gets in here, it will etch the blade. Or in this case, the glass breaker. Just gonna, it is what it is. I think we're just going to probably grease that when I put it back in. Why would I use grease over barricade oil, which dries, leaves a film? Or let's say my standby knife pivot lube. Is that showing up? Oh, well, you know what it is anyway. Knife pivot lube, or the heavy pivot lube. Well, something that's going to take a lot of use and a lot of abuse and get wet and get gross and has already shown that it's got some issues. The grease realistically is not going to wash off, not going to wear off. Once you put it on there, it's going to be there. Can it dry? Can it leave a residue? Yeah, but that's just all going to help it. and it's just a much longer term fix. Sandwiched between this metal, and the G10 liner, I mean, really, there's not going to be a wear mark. It's not going to move. It's on there, but it will allow us to really saturate this whole little block of metal and make it as defended on rust as we can possibly get it, which is the goal. So our liner, pretty good. I'm happy with it. Got a little bit of schmutz there still, but not bad. Backside looks good. Got a little bit of residue from Loctite, which will just soak with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And same in here. Just hit all those screws. And I usually just kind of hit the screws as well if they've got a little bit of Loctite left on them. And that helps to just work that old Loctite off. Soak these phosphor bronze washers. And from a disassembly standpoint, really, other than relentless soak, this is where we're going to end it. So, hope it was interesting. It's kind of boring and dull, but this is what's involved in prepping it. Next is going to be sharpening this gigantic monster. And I don't 100% know where I'm going to end with this. I know he doesn't care. I do. And when I get it back to him, you know, I like people to open it and go, whoa, you know, it looks substantially better than when they sent it. Sometimes that's not really possible. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy Halloween if I don't do something else before this, or who knows when I release this. So, bye.